Hello and welcome to our summer of skincare. I'm really excited to bring this series to you all. I have been working with my skin for the last few months, ever since we received Yarrow Palm in our collection of essential oils. It has been an extremely fun journey. And as most of you know, I like to experiment with myself. And that's what I've been doing these last few months. So hopefully we're going to get all of the information about our skincare in the next 5 weeks. Today is basically an overview. And then the next four times we meet, I'm going to go over some of the more specific areas of concern that we might have. So today I really want to talk about what is healthy skin and how do we get it and what does doTERRA have to offer us. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully I'm not going to have too many technical difficulties. But please bear with me as we dive right in. So here we go. So we're going to go and talk about aging skin. We're going to talk about redness. We're going to talk about scars, breakouts, and brown spots. I'm also going to bring in some conversation about what the face really holds for us through the lens of Chinese medicine. We're going to bring in some Qigong facial exercises and also some of the additional tools out there like gua sha and moxa that can contribute towards skin health without going into some of the more cosmetic changes that can happen out there in the world, right? There's a lot of ways that we can help our skin, and I'm going to talk to you more about the natural ways that we can work with our skin and some of the underlying things that are showing up on our face and what they might mean. So let's begin. As always, I like to really take us through the wellness pyramid, and why I'm bringing our wellness period through here when we're talking about skin is because we have really 80% of our skin and how it's showing up for us is about what's going on the inside. It's really about an 80-20 rule, where 20% is what we're putting on topically, and 80% is about what we're doing internally, how our body is functioning. Our health shows up on our face. So very first step is to think about what we're eating and what we're putting in our body and how that's impacting our skin. There are lots of different remedies and things that we can look at within the diet to help our skin. For example, if somebody has a lot of breakouts in Chinese medicine, we understand that red eruption breakouts is too much heat in the body. So one way that we might work with that is taking out some of the heat in the diet, like spicy foods, and adding in things like watermelon. That's an example. But another example is making sure that we have all of the vitamins, nutrients, and antioxidants in our foods and our supplements to support beautiful, healthy, glowing skin. So we want things like CoQ10, vitamin C, copper, zinc, vitamin D, biotin, collagen, things like this are very helpful for our skin. Now, exercise. Exercise is really also deeply important to nourish and hydrate our skin because our skin is breathable, right? Our skin is our biggest organ in our body, and it's also our biggest barrier between the outside world. And so we need our skin to be able to vent and release and be fluid and breathable. And one of the ways that that can happen for us is through a little bit of sweating, a little bit of releasing through the skin, right? When we cleanse, sometimes we see a big change in our skin, and that is really supported by maybe some infrared sweating, but also exercise. So I want to say here, don't over-exercise or under-exercise. Movement is important. If you've ever felt like your skin is kind of stagnant, gray, maybe you need to look and see, are you moving your body? Are you getting the blood moving and circulating? Now, our next level, rest and manage stress. This is hugely important for our skin. Free radicals definitely come and influence our skin through stress, and getting adequate more than 6 hours, really ideally 8 hours of sleep is really important to help our skin regenerate healthy, fresh skin cells. If not, if we are not getting that kind of rest and adequate rest, our skin cells, all of our blood cells, are actually not able to regenerate. And then they're not able to recreate a healthy, fresh cell, right? So what happens is that without that adequate rest, we might have a little bit of a sickly cell that's going to duplicate exactly as it is, that sickly cell. So for example, I have some brown spots that I'm working with from sun, too much sun, way too much sun. I love the sun. So I've got some sunspots, especially on the side of my face from being in the car, right? Sun comes through the window. Make sure you're using your sunscreen, and can come on the sides of our cheeks. So I have some brown spots there. If I'm not getting enough rest and I'm doing all the right things with my skincare, I'm turning it over, I'm cleansing, I'm scrubbing, I'm doing all the things, but I'm not getting enough rest, my cell that's making the brown spots, that's duplicating itself, will make another cell that's going to have that same brown spot. But if I'm giving myself adequate rest and I'm dealing with stress in a beautiful way where I'm just observing it, not letting it build up on me, and I'm getting that deeper, nourishing kind of rest, my cells will create new, fresh baby cells, and that brown spot is going to reduce. Exciting, right? Now, if we take that a further step towards dysfunctioning cells, this is actually how skin cancer continues to duplicate itself. If we're not getting enough rest, if we're not getting the right nutrients, if we are using toxic things on our face, or in our environment, maybe then we have a cell that's duplicating itself with cancer in it. So it's something to consider. So reducing toxic load, yes, that absolutely looks like changing out the cleaning supplies in your home, pulling out those Glade plugins or Febreze or whatever other things that you're using to cleanse your home that are toxic. Super important to switch those out and create a healthier choice with the different kinds of things that we have with doTERRA, right? But especially the things you're putting on your face, especially those $100 things that you might be buying at a department store for your skin. What are those ingredients? Are they actually good for you? Or are we piling on things on our face then having the sun, the UV rays, and what is that doing? It might look good for a moment, but what is the actual results? Something to consider. Now, informed self-care, that's what we're doing here today. And that's what we're doing together is we're learning, we're educating ourselves, we're diving in deeper. But I also want to mention the proactive medical care because I did mention that cancer word. Now, if you see a spot or you see something on your face or somewhere on your body and you're not so sure about it, you want to get a skin scan. Really, once a year, or if you had one and your doctor said, okay, you can come back in 2 years, we're all different. Our skin is growing and changing at a different rate. So if you have a tendency towards that, any kind of cancer on your face or anywhere in your body, make sure you're also checking in with a doctor. Okay, this is not to replace that at all. So you want to really be in touch with your skin these days. Let's look more about what does healthy skin look like. So understanding your skin, what is healthy skin? Smooth, hydrated. So making sure, I didn't mention this in the pyramid, but making sure that you are getting an adequate amount of water, and good water, healthy water, not water that's sitting in your plastic bottle in the car, right? That's taking in a lot of petrochemicals, right? Using a nice, good water bottle, drinking citrus in your waters, making sure you're staying hydrated, but also your skin is staying hydrated. One of my favorite tools for sealing in the moisture in the skin is rose. We can just roll rose on our skin all throughout the day. Firm, taut, evenly toned, and resilient, right? Resilient, I love that. Healthy skin is resilient skin. That means that you can have a day where you're out in the wind, or that you've come into encountered something and your skin is able to be healthy and fight off anything else that's coming in, right? Healthy skin is a joy to have, actually. Now, what damages our skin? Free radicals, UV radiation, pollution, diet, any kind of inflamed state in our body, stress, lack of sleep. These all come in and impact our skin. So flying, radiation comes from our phones, our computer screens. All of this is impactful on our skin. So we want to bring in as many antioxidants as possible into our bodies. 80%, right? That 80% note there is coming into our body. So our lifelong vitality, our alpha CRS is excellent for this, but also our omega, all those healthy fats in there, as well as our vitamins and minerals, our VMZ, because that's where we're getting all those vitamins that are antioxidants. Super, super helpful. And also we want to make sure that the sunscreen that we are using, we do not have one in doTERRA, so you can make one, or I'm going to mention some in our next few series that I recommend, that it's non-toxic. Also, we want to make sure that we're honoring the reefs in the ocean with our sunscreen. So make sure that we're really understanding what ingredients do these days. Now, helichrysum and sandalwood are two essential oils that are very naturally skin protective from the sun. Now, I don't know what the UV number is when we talk about that, right? We have 20 or 50. So we'll talk a little bit about that. What I do know is that I do recommend 20 minutes a day of some kind of sunshine without any sunscreen for our vitamin D. And then after that, we do want to have protection. So either long sleeve clothing, a hat, some sunscreen that's non-toxic, super important. So these are the ingredients that if you were to take some time and look up on Google or whatever search engine that you choose to find out what are the top ingredients for healthy skin, these are some of those ingredients, and they are all found in our Lifelong Vitality Pack. So I way prefer to use this pack than to try to pull together all these ingredients. Much easier on the wallet, as well as not having tons and tons of bottles all over the place. Now, I have had some of these in the past separately and grateful to have them all together. Let's talk about this. I think this is one of the most exciting things that we can really understand and learn as we're working to turn over our skin is our cellular health. Cells are constantly in a state of renewing themselves. And you just need a little water. Constantly, which means that we're always making new cells. So our skin cells regenerate every 28 days. That's a lot of skin that's coming off our body and a lot of new skin. So a lot of opportunity to create change every 28 days. Now, remember, our Lifelong Vitality has a 30-day money-back guarantee. I personally recommend taking the Lifelong Vitality for actually 3 months for this next point here. Red blood cells renew themselves every 120 days. Now, that's 3 months. So my recommendation here, as you're going through this skincare series with me, is to give yourself 3 months. So we're in July. So give yourself July, August, and September. Really mark it down when you start your routine so that you can make clear assessment as to whether or not this is helping you. And remember, 80% is coming from the inside. So that Lifelong Vitality is the absolute baseline recommendation. Now, if you're one of those that are like, I'm just not into the Lifelong Vitality, I don't want to take it, that's absolutely okay. You're going to have results. Maybe you're taking other supplements, or maybe you have a different belief system. Sorry, excuse me. Just give yourself more time for the renewal process. I would double it. So give yourself 6 months. So you might consider, maybe I'll consider that Lifelong Vitality, right? You get a new liver every 5 months, but remember, remember that that new liver is coming from the old. So it's rebuilding from where it is. So if you're not giving yourself, let me try this tea. If you're not giving yourself that nourishment, that deeply nourishing nutrition that comes from the lifelong vitality, what are you making that new liver from? And your heart, you're getting a new heart every 20 years, right? So your cells are turning over. So your past actions, this is where our past actions are showing up in our body, in our organ systems, in our heart, in our skin, in our blood cells, which is pretty awesome and exciting. So let's look at this from this perspective of our skin. 3 months, 120 days, giving ourselves that foundational nutrition with our vitamins and minerals, our omegas and our antioxidants and our lifelong vitality. And then we can start to talk about the things that we want to add on top. So before I do that, I want to just break down why antioxidants are so important and what free radicals are actually doing to our cell. So don't get scared by this image. I know it looks like a lot. I'm going to just take us through really quick, okay? So these are where our free radicals come from. Ultraviolet rays, pollution, stress or lack of sleep, both, and poor diet. And they create free radicals, which come in and impact, this is our cell. So these are all the free radicals coming in to create damage in the cell. This side would be the normal cellular membrane, which is protected by the antioxidants. Up here at the top, you can see what's happening. Here's a stable molecule. What happens is this free radical over here stealing, you see this little hand, he's stealing one of the electrons, and this becomes unbalanced. And then it's this chaotic cell in the body. Our antioxidants will actually give back one of those molecules and create balance in the system, in the cellular system again. So vitamin C, alpha CRS, all our antioxidants are really medicinal on a cellular level. So let's look at these. These are our 3 kits, plus the Reveal system. The Reveal system, which I have here in the middle, I think is kind of our secret ingredient. So first we have this anti-aging kit at the top, the white bottles. This is our essential oils meets science. doTERRA's done a lot of research. Each one of these products, you can look up the research. They're all the ingredients there are a 1 or a 2 on the EWG radar. So they're all really clean and amazing ingredients in that science aspect of it that are not just essential oils. Now, if you're a purist and you only want to use essential oils and the purest of the pure without any of the science aspect of it, then I'm going to recommend the Virage skincare line for you. The HD Clear, we're not going to talk about too much in this series. I usually recommend this for our teens that have a lot of history of breakouts and acne. Now, most popular out in the world, at least here in the United States, there are certain kind of chemical processes to deal with these kinds of acne-prone skins, like Proactin, and there's quite a few others. I don't really want to name them all, but they're really high in their chemicals, and they become very addictive to the skin. So the skin will clear up on those products, but if you take it away, the acne will come back. The HD Clear is a great stepping stone to get off of some of those more intense, and then you can slowly make your way towards the Essential Skincare line or the Virage Skincare line. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about those too much in this course, but they're there, and that's really what I like to recommend them for. Now, if anybody has a different recommendation for it, I know that HD Clear roller in there is great if you have more whoa, underneath the skin type cystic like acne. This is a great one to know about. So we'll talk about those a little bit more in the acne section or the breakout section when we get there. Now, bring your attention to the center, to the Reveal skincare line. You see the 1 and the 2. When I first started to use this, I thought of it as like, oh, this is an exfoliator. I'm going to use it like once a month. Well, what I'm going to recommend here for those of you that are wanting to regenerate and turn over your skin is this can be used up to 5 times a week. Yeah. So this is probably one of your biggest secret ingredients. And this is what's going to allow the yarrow pom to get deeper in there. I think this is an incredible step that I don't know why it's like we haven't talked about it enough. I didn't know about it until I really stepped into this. When I first started to use it, I was a little intimidated because I did have some redness here where my wrinkles are, right? So that actually doesn't happen anymore. So if you experience a little bit of redness, it's because actually you're flaking off some dead skin that needs to go. So no longer do I have that. So let me know, and we will talk about this more as we go into it. Our steps that we want to make sure that we're doing every single day, twice a day in this process is step 1, and don't worry, I'm going to go over this a million times, but I just want to start to say it to you, is we're going to cleanse morning and night. Even though you cleansed at night, you're going to cleanse in the morning because there's bacteria on your pillows. It was a really hard one for me to get. That's why I'm saying it like that. I used to just wash my face for full transparency with water. That's it. For years. So this is a huge thing for me to be studying and learning because I have always been very minimalistic in my skincare routine. So step 1, cleanse. Step 2, scrub. This is where we're going to either use the invigorating scrub, which is in the Essential Care line, or the Reveal. You can use either one. Step 3, tone. Now the toner, I can't tell you how many toners I have from the Virage skincare line that I have not used due to ignorance, not realizing how tonifying and nourishing and moisturizing this is to my skin. It's really, really helpful to control oil production and also balance the pH levels in our skin. Okay. Geranium is also a great one to keep in mind for that tone. If you have extra redness, you can just pat in a little geranium with that toner. Step 4 is going to be activate. This is where some of our other skincare products like our whitening gel or our anti-aging eye cream, the yarrow pom. This is going to help stimulate that cellular turnover, okay? We also want to protect our DNA while we're doing this. And so there's lots of different ingredients in these different, the tightening serum, the brightening gel, and even the Virage skin serum is great at this, the activate. Step 5 is going to be the soothing. This is when our moisturizers come in. Our moisturizers come in to soothe any kind of irritation that might have happened in the scrubbing. And number 6 is protect for all this. So we have our 3 different possibilities of full skincare systems. And actually, before I move on, I want to say what doTERRA has done with these is created really significant savings if we buy them as bundles. For example, the HD Clear, I'm going to just read it off here. It's $46 for those 3 products, right? The cleanser, the roller, and the moisturizer. It's pretty amazing. The Virage skincare is $90.89 for the full system. Just to give you a sense, the serum is about $64 and it's $89 for all of them. So every time I get the Virage, I get them all. And I combine the Virage with the Essential skincare line. I combine them both. And what doTERRA has done with the Essential skincare line is that you get the 4 main pieces, the toner, the scrub, the moisturizer, and the cleanser, all for $80, $79, and then you can add on any one of the extra things like the eye cream or anything for $25 only. So an extremely good price. So to finish that off, I recommend getting the Lifelong Vitality and one of these skincare systems, and then you can add on and see what you like. And I'm going to go through and share with you all the recommended products for each one of these 6 stages of the cleansing, the scrubbing, the toning, the activate, and the soothe, and the protect for the specific different areas that we're treating, brown spots, aging, as we go through the weeks. And then each week I will also add on some of the exercises that we're going to talk about, okay? Hopefully that makes sense now. A little bit more about antioxidants that I want to share with you here. I shared this with you in the image, but I know some of us are better with words. So antioxidants really reduce the effects of free radicals. This is also called oxidative stress, which does play a major role in disease formation. So it doesn't just cause cosmetic problems, right? The leading health problems that we face today, like heart disease, cancer, dementia, all have been linked to increased levels of oxidative damage and inflammation. So in simplest terms, oxidation of is a chemical reaction that produces free radicals, like you saw. Free radicals steal and destabilize the cells, which creates a damaged cell. So with antioxidants, we're slowing down the signs of aging, including skin, eyes, tissues, joints, heart, and brain. We're getting a healthier, more glowing look of our skin. We're reducing our cancer risks, supporting detoxification. It's also supporting a longer lifespan. There's protection here with antioxidants against heart disease and stroke, less risk for cognitive problems and dementia, reduced risk for vision loss, cataracts. Antioxidants are also added to food or household products to prevent oxidization and spoilage. So, for example, some of the skincare sunscreens that are out there now have a lot of antioxidants in them for that preservative instead of some of the preservatives that are more damaging to the skin. They're just more expensive. All is possible through nature. It's just, do we have the willingness to take that extra effort? So this is an image of the face that I wanted to bring through from the lens of Chinese medicine so that we can start to understand that there are different areas on our face that correspond to our organ systems. So, for example, if you have issues along the jawline, especially on the chin, this might be related as a woman to our hormones. It also could be related, because this area is our large intestine. So there could be some way that we're not releasing toxins properly through our digestive tract. Now, some of us might be dealing with like some sunken in eyes, right? Lack of collagen here, or bags under the eyes, and that would be a kidney deficiency, something that we want to support our kidney energy. Now, remember, in Chinese medicine, this is not the same way that we think about a kidney deficiency in Western medicine. We think about this as terms of our life force. This is one of the ways that we have strong life force in the world, is our kidney energy. It's that power, that oomph, and that'll show up here. So if you have chronic bags or chronic circles under your eyes, this is a really good idea to understand that we also are wanting to support those kidneys. So take a look at this. We are going to work with this. I'm going to bring in some Qigong for the face next week. I'm really excited to do so. There will be a little file of a download for the exercises so that you will have them before we meet next week. You'll find that in the events. If you're here on YouTube, I will put it up in the file section there for you as well. So now what I want you to do before we begin the deeper dive is to take a vitality assessment for yourself right now. So if you're watching this, you can screenshot this, print it out, and checklist, and really see a real honest check-in with yourself. How is your sleep? How are your aches and pains? How is your immune system functioning? Are you sick often or hardly at all? How is your emotions? Are you feeling balanced or stressed and anxious? Remember, all of this shows up on our face. Do you have energy and vitality throughout the day? How's your mental focus? Is this you sometimes, never, always? And then lastly, how's your skin and hair now? Also, I would put in nails. Is your nail health? Are they brittle? Are they breaking? How's your hair? Is it dull? Is it snapping and breaking, or is it growing really fast? All of these areas, every single one of them, will be touched upon by the Lifelong Vitality. So if you haven't started taking that and you're beginning this journey now, please be sure to fill this out now and then at the end of the 3 months, so that you have a real clear record as to what's working for you or not, right? We want to make sure. And that is the end of my presentation. So hopefully you have a little bit of an understanding of how important what we're taking on the inside is for the outside, and also just a little bit of a walkthrough of all of our different options. Now, we are going to go in much more in depth into the cleansing, the scrubbing, the toning, the activating, the soothing, and the protecting stages, as well as talking about the different areas of our skin health, the elasticity, the sagging, or brown spots, breakouts, redness, all of these different areas. We will be going over those in the weeks to come. So I really appreciate your time and your attention. Let me know if you have any questions. Please reach out. If you are not quite sure which line and which area that you really want to focus on, I am available for 20-minute consults so that we can make sure that you're getting started with the right thing. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks so much.